Hi, I'm designer Jen Gallacher, and this is an Inspiration Station video hosted by the Scrapbook Expo. Today we're starting with the standard card base that is 4 1/4 inches wide by 5 1/2 inches tall. To start with, we're going to ink up a definition stamp. It has the definition of thank you. I'm using a Versamark ink pad to ink up the background of the stamp. I've used this technique before in several other Inspiration Station videos, as well as tutorials on the weekly Scrapper blog, so be sure to check them out there. To create the stamped image, you simply place the image on top, and then using your fingers, a brayer, or even the box or lid that you use to stamp with, press the paper into the stamped image. Make sure that the paper doesn't slip. This will create the stamped image for you. We're going to trim this as soon as it dries. For the rest of the card, we're going to take some pattern paper. This is from a Chamel collection, and we're going to attach it to the top of the card. I've pre-cut this paper so it will fit perfectly. This particular paper comes from a 6x6 paper pad. I like 6x6 paper pads for cards because it's a little bit smaller of a format. Now that my image has had a chance to dry, I'm going to trim it just a little bit. I'm simply using a paper trimmer to trim off any excess pieces I don't need. And you can cut into any part of the design that you want. Want to make sure that it is 5 1/2 inches tall. And we'll trim off any excess. This ensures that it fits across the top of our card perfectly. I'm going to adhere it on the left side of the card, leaving a little bit of the pattern showing. This is a great technique when you have a busy pattern like this. On top of that, I'm going to place a doily. And then on top of that, I'm going to take an ephemera piece, which is from a viewfinder, and we'll go ahead and attach that with some glue dots. This is a glue dot dispenser, and as you twist it, it brings the glue dot to the top. We'll center this ephemera piece right in the middle of that doily. For the next piece, I'm going to take an American Crafts DIY tag, and we'll attach it to the side of the card. Part of it will stick off, and we'll use our scissors to trim off any excess that we have. I want to leave at least half of the viewfinder piece showing. I can turn it over, and using the edge of the card as a guide, simply trim off any extra of that tag. To the center of the tag, I'm going to take a dimensional sticker. It was all pre-made. I simply cut it away with the plastic backing, and it does have adhesive on it. We'll perfectly center it in the middle of that viewfinder. Now, to dress up the card a little bit, I'm going to trim off the twine that was included with this tag and instead use a yellow ribbon. We'll simply thread it through the reinforced hole on the tag, and then we'll tie it into a bow. This allows me to customize the piece just a little bit better. Plus, it makes it a little bit more feminine. You could also use baker's twine if you prefer, or simply change it out for a different color of crochet or sewing thread. To finish off the card, we'll add a few enamel dots. We'll add these in a triangular pattern so that the eye creates a little bit of a cluster. So there you have a card that uses some leftover ephemera pieces as well as pattern paper and a stamped image, which is a background stamp, to create a card. Be sure to subscribe to the Scrapbook Expo YouTube channel so you don't miss out on our tutorial videos, and visit the weekly Scrapper blog for additional Inspiration Station tutorials.